You have seen these kind of impossible morphing before. They seem smooth, logical, and incredibly satisfying. If you click this to finally master the shape morphing in After Effects without having to deal with the path triangles nightmare ever again, you are in the right place. Most people design beautiful visuals first and then they will struggle to animate it later. I will tell you why that is a mistake and the one trick that I use to make the transitions actually design themselves. And all of it will start from a script. So this is our full script, but we are going to focus on this particular line only because this is where most of the crazy transitions are happening. And the line goes like, from the first brick to the final finish, we handle everything. First brick immediately gives me the visual, a brick, then final finish logically becomes a building. But here is the key. I didn't just pick the visuals, I picked the visuals that could transform. A brick and a building both share a cuboid structure. That means with a fake 3D rotation, one can naturally evolve into the other. So I'm designing for the transitions, not just for the look. Then the script says we handle everything. There are many ways I could have shown that: a hand protecting a site, a team of workers or tools, or etc, etc. But I chose the checklist for a reason. The building already had some windows which could become the checkboxes in the next scene. So the principle is using the elements in your current scene to build the next scene around it. When you think this way, you stop designing the visuals first and then forcing the animation later. You design the visuals and the motion together. Now once you have that cleared out, we will go into After Effects and start recreating this part of the animation. Now let me walk you through the transitions. This is what is happening here. This is the brick, then it is rotating in fake 3D, then the side face of the brick is transforming into this side face of the building. And this transition will be very easy if we, instead of going from brick to building, if we go from building to brick, because here we are just eliminating things. We are getting rid of this face of the building, then the upper face. If we were to do it normally, like going from brick to the building, we will have to add a lot of things like this face of the building, then of course the windows and stuff. So that is why we will go backwards when animating it. And after we have done this transition, we will move to the next transition normally, like we see here. So let me import the shapes into After Effects. I will use overload to import it from Illustrator to After Effects, but you can also do it manually. Now the main shapes are here, and this is all we will need to understand the transition. The building is in two groups. One is this and the other is this. And this is the front face of the brick. So let me name it properly. Now here I will place my playhead at second 2 and I will select this group. I will type in here path on the search bar to open all the path properties. Then I will add keyframes on all of them. Now if I press U, I will only see the keyframes in the timeline. By the way, to expand any menu like this timeline menu, I am pressing this key. This is called backtick, and after that we will also add keyframe on the second group of the building. So let's type in path again. So this is not converted into a Bezier path. So we will select it, right click and convert to Bezier path. Now add keyframes on both of them. Perfect. Now that is done. Once that is done, click Ctrl R to bring these rulers, and we will add a few rulers here. You can drag the ruler from side to wherever you want it to place. I will place it right here, and another one I will place it right here, and another one I will place it right on the edge of the building like this. Then another one I will add right on the top edge of the brick layer. Now once that is done, I will place my playhead at second 1 and I will select all the keyframes and double click on the path. That will allow me to access these transform handles, using which I will transform the path into a thin line like this. Once that is done, you will see that the top is sharp. I need to make it flat on this ruler. So I will go back to second 1 and select the keyframe, and right here at the top I will just drag. Now this path point is selected. I will just drag it to this point. Now if I play it, you will see this is scaling properly. We will also animate the other group. For that group, we don't need to do much. Just select the keyframes and here select these 2 points on the top and just drag them here like this. Then drag them down and align them properly here like this. Now here we will do one more thing. We will add a null. Control Shift Alt and Y, and press Y and hold control and double click on the anchor point tool that will center the anchor point. Then just place the null right here, and we will parent both the layers of the building to the null. Then we will duplicate this null and we will bring the null down here on the bottom edge. If I hold control, it will snap to the center of the layer. Now this new null, let us call it building master, and the first one that we created, we will call it side master. Let us give them different colors. Now the side master, it will be parented to the building master. Now the building master is controlling all of it. Now without selected anything, if I just press U, it will open up all the keyframes. Then what we need to do is we will select the building master and add a scale keyframe and move the scale keyframe to second 2. Then I will use this null to scale it down to the height of our brick here. If you hold control, you will be able to scale it down with more accuracy. Now the side master, it will actually expand a little bit horizontally. The reason is, in this position, the front face is closest to our eyes. That is why it is appearing wider. Once the building rotates, the side face of the building will get wider because that will be the closest thing to our eyes. So we will do that. Add the scale keyframe, then move the scale keyframe to second 2, and right here we will expand it a little bit like this. Then this is the animation we will have, something like this. Now we will do the animation for the brick. We will select the brick layer, press Y to activate anchor point tool, then drag this anchor point to the side, and if I press control, I will be able to snap it to this edge of the brick layer. Now let me snap it again to the side of the building. Perfect. Now the playhead is a second one. Right there we will add a scale keyframe on this layer of the brick. Add a scale keyframe. Then we will move the playhead to second 0. Right now the playhead is at second 2. We will add a scale keyframe on the brick layer right there, and we will move that keyframe to second 0. Then we will unlink the scale properties here, and we will reduce this scale value on the, which is the horizontal one, to 0. Now once that is done, let's move the playhead to second 0. We will scale down the side master in the x-axis to something like this. Now this is the animation we will have. Perfect. Now we will add some easing here. Then open all the keyframes and select all of them and press F9. Then go to graph editor. Then change the graphs to something like this. Then this is the animation we will have. Now we will transform the first phase of the building into the checklist. So let's do that. First we will select the other group, that is this one, and move the playhead to second 3. Then select the keyframes, and in the viewport select these path points like this. Then we will merge them with the other set of paths like this. Perfect. Now select the keyframes of the same layer again and double click on the path points. Then drag this handle to this marker right here. Then select the top path point and move it down like this to make it flat. Make sure it is properly flat. Then select the other group. Then select the keyframes to activate the path points. Then here we are only going to select these path points. We will leave the buildings. We will double click it. Then this time we will drag while holding control so that we expand it on both sides. Perfect. Now we will flatten the top. Now after that, select any keyframe and just drag around these windows so that we can move them here like this, and the other set of windows we will just drag them here and double click them to activate these handles. Then just scale them down horizontally so that they become invisible like this. So now we will have this animation. Now what we need to do is we need to add these lines here, these lines. So for that I will just import those lines from Illustrator, or you can just make them in After Effects natively. Now here we have them. The next thing we will do is we will parent all of them to a null so that we can reposition and scale them properly. And right now I will get rid of the rulers, control and this key, whatever that is called, and then we will just try to align and scale it properly like this. We will also need to do a little bit of manual work here. Nice. Now the next thing we will do is select all of those lines and solo them. Now we will search path here, then press the backtick key and add keyframe on all the path properties. Right now the playhead is at second 3, so we will move it back a little to second 2. Then here what we need to do is we will select this end of the lines and then drag them close to the other end of the line like this. And we will do the same with the rest. Nice. Once all of the animations are done, this is how it will look.
Master can move everything. And now we need to animate the position of these lines. So let's go to second 3 and there we will add a keyframe on line master position. Then at second 2 we will adjust the position so that all the windows are aligned perfectly with our lines here like this. Nice. Now you will notice that there are some lines that are going beyond the building phase. So we will take all the line layers, we will mark them to our building phase layer here like this. After that we will select all the line layers again, and just sometime after the second 2 we will add a keyframe on the opacity. Then we will go back and then we will reduce the opacity to 0, so it will look like this. And after that we will animate the position of the master null, that is this one, the building master. Let's add a keyframe on both position and scale. Then let's go to second 4 and we will scale it up. Before we scale it up, make sure we check this link icon here so that the scales are proportionate. And if I press the comma key, it will give us this grid which will help us align our subject here in the center like this. Now we will work on the easing of all our keyframes here. I will select all the layers, then press U to reveal all the keyframes, then press Shift plus T, then press again Shift plus T. Now here I will select these keyframes and press F9. Then these I will ease these two ones. Then let's select all the keyframes and enter graph editor, and from there let's start editing the graph. Now after that we also need to do one more thing, that is to make everything look like it is rotating from one axis. Here it is looking like the brick is moving here, but we want it to stay in the center. So we will use our master null, that is this one, to make that illusion. So make sure you have this grid enabled. The shortcut is the comma key. Then make sure the building center is in the center of our composition. Then also make this part of the brick look like it is in the center of the composition also from this angle. Now we will edit the graph editor of the position keyframes. After doing those adjustments, this is our animation. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want the full project file, the link will be in the description. And do not forget to check Gradient X. This is a plugin that I used to make all the gradients in this video, which are fully controllable, and you can make them with just one click. The link again will be in the description. See you in the next one. Bye.